Hello, hello, hello. Good morning to the beautiful lights here in the United States. I know some of you are watching in other countries, and so it is morning here in the US. And here in Idaho, it is a balmy 37 degrees. Oh my goodness gracious. There is snow up on the mountains, but it melted a little bit yesterday because we got up to 67. So it's so funny. It's just life in the mountains. It just cracks me up how it'll be near freezing, near freezing in the morning. And then we'll get like a balmy, like I said, 67 degrees near noontime. And so it's just so funny. But absolutely love it this morning. It's been just a gorgeous, incredible day. Hello, hello to those of you hopping on. Hi, hi, hi. Wonderful to have you here. So I am just adjusting, and I am so ecstatic to have you here on the live, and also those of you who are watching the replay. And I know that sometimes are not always conducive to some people. Hi guys, hi Jacqueline, hi Karen. It's in the 80s. Oh my gosh, Jacqueline. And Karen, I know in Wisconsin it's been very, very balmy. Lucky. Maybe you can just send maybe 15 degrees this way. It's all good. Shelby, yay! Good morning. Good morning, G-Friend. Yay, thank you, Shelby. You as well. Oh my goodness. So Shelby's in Idaho. So she's maybe getting some of the cooler weather. And so, as I was saying, I know that it's a little tricky this time, this 9:30 time, for some people who may be at work at this time or have other obligations. And so I'm going to do another live this evening at 7 p.m. and it's questions and answers to mediumship and heightening your intuition. So maybe things that you have been experiencing that you're interested in receiving more answers this evening. And I feel like too that then at 7 o'clock, I'm also able to catch some people who are coming in just after work and that type of thing. So I'm excited about that. I'm really excited about that. So this morning, thank you for the hearts. Oh my gosh, I love the hearts. I love love. Oh my gosh, I almost want all of you to like raise your hands for those of you who love love. Oh my goodness, my entire life, I'm all about love. I'm loving love. So thank you for the hearts. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So as most of you know, thank you for the hearts. I'm loving them. As most of you know, I'm Heather Corbet, and I'm a medium and spiritual advisor. And I've been on this path since my spiritual reawakening for nearly 20 years. And it's just been amazing. It's been truly, truly epic. And I want to share with all of you, I want to share with you various aspects of my phases of this spiritual awakening, and one of them being your spirit guides. Okay, so with my spiritual reawakening, I like calling it that because I did see spirits when I was younger. I had past life experiences when I was younger. And I like to say it's a reawakening. And so during that time, it was a dark time. It was a very dark time. And I just felt kind of pulled apart. And I just kind of gave up caring. How many people do that? I'm going to give up caring. And so I did that, and I graduated with my psychology undergrad degree. And then I hit the road, and I took a 2-month road trip, and just living in a van. My friend and I, she also graduated with a psychology degree. Both of us were like, we're out, we're out. And so that entire 2 months, we worked on manifesting, and we also worked on synchronicity and trying to either count the dots backwards or forwards. Like, why did this happen? Like I said, we were in a van, so sometimes we would manifest places to live, houses, okay? And so one time we were walking across a beach and just reached out to this couple and just started talking to them, and they said, hey, come over to our apartment this evening, we'll make you dinner. And so we manifested not only a place to stay, but also dinner, right? Okay, another time, we were running out of cash, and so we needed to manifest a job for either my traveling partner or myself, and we manifested a job for me as I was again, the beach is just so funny. We were in California, and these two people walked by, and one of the gals, oh my gosh, her name is Hari. And Hari, if you're out there anywhere, I would love to be in touch. Her name is Hari, and she looked, this blew me away. She looked almost exactly like me. And I was trying to grow out dreads, and she did have dreads. Okay, I had snarls. But anyway, it was bizarre. Like, we looked at each other and we were like the same person. So anyway, Joe was her boyfriend, and they got me a job. So I was able to work on the road for a week and a half. So also with this incredible adventure, I met my first spirit guide, and we went to Sedona, Arizona. And as a lot of you may know, it's a metaphysical area, new age area. And I remember walking in, and there was a fella that was working at the front desk. And he just looked up at me, and he said, and we didn't really even say hi, but he said, "Oh." And I said, "Hi?" Like, I was like, what? We didn't really say hi. Like I said, I was just like, what? And he goes, "Oh, you look like a goddess." And I was like, "Oh, thank you." Like, I want to walk into every store and have somebody say that to me. And so then he said, no, come here. And so he directed me to these goddesses, these different play cards. And he said, "This one right here." And sure enough, her and I looked very, very similar. And so her name, I flipped it over. I was like, "What's her name?" And her name is Goddess Hathor. And I'm Heather. So I thought, oh my gosh. And she heals through sound, which I love. And that made a lot of sense to me. I like to sing, play clarinet, play the piano. And as I ebbed and flowed more and more with Goddess Hathor, I did research on her, and she actually meets people on the other side after they pass. And so I was like, oh, perfect. This is my goddess, of course. And so I utilize her as I do readings. So I utilize Goddess Hathor. Okay. So I wanted to share with you your spirit guides and give you some more ideas about that. So that's one way of obtaining a spirit guide. Go into a metaphysical store. You can look at various pictures of who you resonate with. People can direct you to those various places. And so that's what happened with me. And your spirit guides. So we all have spirit guides. We all have a guardian angel. We all have angels around us, all right? Angels among us. And I want to be able to share this with you because it's super exciting, and because we can utilize our spirit guides for our betterment, for our growth, for moving forward in life. And it's super, super, super exciting. So those of you who may have seen, there was an article I put up, and it was from askangels.com, and it talked about that there's 11 different types of spirit guides, okay? That's a lot. That's a lot of different spirit guides. And so I'm going to touch on some of them, and with that, I'm going to touch on some of them. And what I'm going to do also is help you to make them almost more succinct in your own mind. Because 11 different types of spirit guides, that's a lot. That's a lot. So with that, what I call them is guides, angels, masters, and teachers. Okay? So I pull them all in before readings, before Reiki sessions. And then there's also, of course, there's loved ones. So I pull in my loved ones as well. So I've pulled all my guides, angels, masters, and teachers. I've brought them all in, and they're here with us, as are yours. And so this is really exciting for me because they start kind of intermingling, right? Which is really exciting. And some of my guides start pulling your guides closer to you, which is it's just amazing to me. And so, for example, during a reading, and it's so funny because they erase my mind after readings, and then they drop little nuggets in. So sometimes I'm not sure who I'm talking about, but they're like, use this. And I'm like, okay, I'll use this. So I'm using this. So during a reading, my main guide, his name is Everly. He pulled forward this other gal's main guide named Matthew, and they worked together. And it was really neat because they were working in tandem, and then we were able to bring Matthew in for this gal, her main guide. Hi, beautiful light. Hi, Regina. Awesome. Oh my gosh, right? Chills, literally. Right. Okay. So Jacqueline, I'm sure some of your guides are like pressing in. And what I love about that too, so those of you live, those of you on the replay, is that whenever we're in the presence of another light worker, a medium, an intuitive, we actually share gifts. And I know I've shared this before. And so some of my guides are starting to mingle with your guides, which is kind of fun. Some of my angels are interacting with your angels and pulling them forward. Okay. And so chills, right? Chills. And so with that, I'm sure some of your main guides are starting to step forward, which I love the main guides. I love the main guides. So with that, one of the types of the 11 types is life guides. Okay. So I'm on the vein of talking about main guides. And so life guides. Hey, Ashley. Hi, Oriana. Wonderful to have you here. Right. So yeah, Ashley, they're coming in. They're coming in. Right. And so life guides include our main guide. So our main guide has been with us from birth all the way until death. Same with our guardian angel. So both of those. And so they've always been with us. Right. And so they're here with us now, and we just need to get to know them a little bit more, which is exciting. I love that aspect of it too, is getting to know them. Thanks for the hearts. Yay. And so those are two of our life guides. So that was in the article, it's had 11 different types of guides. Okay. Those are our life guides. Like I said, I like to break them down into guides, angels, masters, and teachers. Okay. Hi, Peggy. Look at her little hearts. Oh my gosh. I love it. Good to have you guys here. So again, our guides and angels, masters, teachers, they're mingling, okay, which is so fun, right? It's a party. It's kind of like the angel party. We just have a few more members, okay? So with that, I wanted to share that our main guide, like I said, has been with us from birth through death, okay? So my main guide's name is Everly. I met Everly through a meditation, and oh, I love Everly. He's coming in. He's so awesome. Hi, Peggy. I love your little hearts. I love him. So Everly. Took me a little while to get his name, yet, and so I want to just preface that sometimes our guides will come in and it just may take us a little while to get to know them, to get their name or whatever else. And at the same time, Everly is amazing. So Everly, I used to write poems about a young man named Averly as I was growing up. Averly, and I wrote a lot of like mystical poems growing up and love poems, and Averly, who's actually Everly, but Averly, these poems, it was about this young man, and there was no romantic connection between me and this young man, but he was just a friend. And he, in these poems I would write, he would climb up a ladder to my second story bedroom window, and we would just chat, and he'd give me insights. And so when I actually met Everly, oh my gosh, I was like, it's you were Averly. And he's like, yeah, that's okay that you got the first vowel wrong. That's okay. I'm like, oh, thanks. But he was always with me. So with our main guides, this is what's so cool about our main guides, is we get to tap in with them, and they can help us with our future. They can help us make the right decisions. Okay. So some ways that Everly helps me, he's so sweet. I could just feel him. He's really close. Is he helps me to be able to look in the future to see if any of my old thought patterns will happen again. So I run into, we all do, right? Blocks, glitches, whatever you want to call them. And I look to Everly and I'm like, will this happen again? Right? It's usually in my journaling. So I'm like purging, right? At the same time. And so I'm like, will this happen again? So as most of you know, one of my reoccurring themes is rejection. And so as I'm journaling, I'm, trying to change this thought process and this lens of perception of going to knowing I'm not going to be rejected anymore. I've changed that. So I'm in the acceptance phase. I'll take it, right? And so it is so funny because I'll journal with him and he'll come back and I'll just be like, look to the future, hurry, go, please. And he's like, this cracks me up. It's part of their personalities too. He comes back and I'm like, is this ever going to happen again? Everly, tell me, right? And he's like, Neverly. I'm like, what? Really? That's funny. That's clever. So that's my main guide. They can look to the future for us, right? So they can help us make these decisions. Hi, Jackie. Wonderful to have you here. Just talking about our guides. So I'm talking about your main guide. So with getting to know your main guide, knowing how your main guide will serve you. My main guide looks to the future for me and also helps me find my dogs when I go hiking. Is that not funny? And so I go hiking and it's mountainous and there's lots of trees everywhere and the dogs will just, go off into another canyon. I mean, what the heck? They're dogs. They love it. They love it. And they always come back. And so sometimes I panic a little bit and I'm like, Everly, go find my dogs. And it's interesting because I can feel increased energy where the dogs are. So he also helps me to do that. Our main guides, again, they've been with us from birth until death. They only want the best for us. And so being able to pull them in is really imperative because they are able to really assist us. And so, as I said, with my main guide, I met him through a meditation, through a guided meditation. It was a one-on-one session, and this gal guided me through this meditation, and I met Everly, and it was amazing. And so with that, as I've been moving forward in this spiritual path, I was trying to figure out how we could help others find their spirit guides. So I found Everly through a meditation. I found Goddess Hathor at a metaphysical store. You can also find your angels or guides through dreams, through experiences. And so what really helped me was to go through that guided meditation. And I'm trying to think, I think the majority of the other guides and angels, they're nodding their heads, have been through meditations. And so that really helped me. So I want to really help you to be able to meet your guides. And so that's why I've created the guided meditations to meet your spirit guides. So this first meditation is to meet your main guide, to meet all of your spirit. I want that to happen, for you to be able to meet your guides and your angels. And in this first meditation, you actually meet your spirit animal, and you also have a loved one that comes in. So this is a person who's in spirit who has passed, and they guide you to your main guide. And I love that with the guided meditation that Spirit had me channel, because it's just so sweet the way they bring you to your main guide. And you also get to be in the presence of a loved one, which I love. And so with that, that's one way of meeting your main guide. So main guide is in our life guides group, okay? Also, guardian angel. Guardian angel. I love that. So now our guardian angels get to mingle, right? So guardian angel is another one. So guardian angel has been there for you at miraculous times in your life, okay? Those times that you were saved, okay? Those times that you missed near death, guardian angel swooped in. One of the stories, a lot of times in it's my part 2 mediumship class, where we meet your guardian angel and then we learn other techniques. And so one of the stories that somebody told about their guardian angel actually wasn't saving their life, it was saving somebody else's life. And this gal, she was driving in traffic, and there was like a ton of construction and everything else, and all of a sudden she heard this really soft, gentle voice say, "Stop," like that. And so she slammed on the brakes, and she didn't see any danger. And within a second, a little girl, oh my gosh, 3 years old, in a sweet little red dress, shot out in front of her. So if she wouldn't have stopped, that little girl would have gotten hit, right? Oh my gosh, I'm just like kind of choking up because I'm like, oh my gosh. So that little girl's guardian angel, and then this woman telling the story, her guardian angel worked in tandem to save this little girl's life. And so then like the dad ran out after the little girl, was like, thank you, you know. So we all have stories like that. One of my stories is I was traveling through a canyon late at night, and it was snowy. And on one side was a river, rushing river. On the other side were mountains, okay? And so if Shelby's still here, she knows. So I was going from McCall, Idaho to Boise, Idaho at night. It was slippery, it was sketchy, it was, and I was going maybe, 20, 25 miles per hour through this canyon. Usually it takes 2 hours to get through. This time I think it took me 3 hours. So it's late at night and mountainous country. A lot of people burn wood. And so there was this fella that was in front of me. He had a pickup truck and he had big rounds of wood. So just like basically the tree, and then he cut the tree. That's all he did. So he didn't make them into smaller splintered sections. So basically he just had big rounds in the back of his truck. And so I was traveling behind him, I'm trying to look through the snow, trying not to slip. I know the river's over here, and also there's all these blind corners and whatnot, and then traffic's coming from the other direction, right? All of a sudden, one of those rounds bounced out of his pickup truck, right? And I was just holding the steering wheel, and I'm like, I could go into the other lane of traffic. If there's no traffic, I could go into the river, or I could crash into this mountain. I have no option. It was like slow motion, because I see this round coming at me. And I just heard a voice say, sit tight. And so I did. And the round jumped out of this man's truck, bounced in front of my car. And I didn't close my eyes, but I was like bracing myself for the round to come in through the windshield. And the round actually jumped into the other lane of traffic, of which nobody was coming, and bounced into the river. And I was like, oh my gosh, that was my guardian angel. So our guardian angels are with us and they want us to live, okay? So they're very diligent about that. Guardian angels are also of a very, very, very high light, very high light. They're hanging out with all the other angels. Yeah, whew, right? So they're hanging out with the other angels. And so with this, so guardian angel, so I met my guardian angel through a meditation. Her name is Ophelia. Isn't that pretty? She's always on my left shoulder, and I have a dragonfly on my left shoulder blade. And I know she's around because she makes my left shoulder blade tingle. And it's interesting because sometimes I'll see like little bits of white on this shoulder. It's so funny. I'm like, Ophelia. I just, so I know she's around. So with that, this particular guided meditation that I channeled is the guardian angel, and we have, a guide bringing you to your guardian angel. This particular meditation that I channeled brought me to the stratospheres. I kid you not. I got done with the meditation, channeling the meditation, and you may not see it in the meditation, so it's a video, but you may not see it, but I pushed stop, right? And I had to ground for a good 20 minutes. So they took me so high that I was like in another world. And I'm like eating my yogurt, maybe a granola bar, right? And so they are of such high energy. Again, these guys are our life guides. Okay, our life guides. Another sweet little guide in the 11 different types is our joy guide. And I feel like with our joy guide, this is usually a little imp-like guide, fairy-ish, or a child essence of some sort. And this beautiful young guide is supposed to bring you like this higher light. Okay, so this higher emotion. So super fun to work with Joy Guide. And my Joy Guide, oh my gosh, and your Joy Guide, tricksters. So if you lose something, or I don't know, sometimes things just like fall, right? Like I think one time I had a whole setup here, and I was doing a live, and all of a sudden everything fell, right? And I was like, oh my gosh. And I knew that was Joy Guide, right? Sometimes she flusters me. My Joy Guide flusters me. Her name is Joy. With Joy Guide, he's also been with you throughout your life. And so Joy Guide has been with you at those really high moments. So like birthday parties and other times of, oh gosh, graduation. She or he has been around, like if you go to the fair or carnival rides or roller coasters. Joy Guide is all about fun, is all about joy. So that's another one that's pretty close to you. So as I said earlier, we have guides, angels, masters, and teachers, okay? So we have these guides, right? And the difference between these guides, angels, masters, and teachers. So the difference between the angels and the rest of the group is that the angels have never walked the earth and the others have. Oh, shoot, Jacqueline, right? Talk to your joy guide, right? Joy guide, yeah. So I love that you brought that up because joy guide helps you find things as well. So go ahead, like, joy guide, where is it? Okay, and sometimes, so what happens with me, I'll bring joy guide to the grocery store and I'll be like, where's the ketchup? And I just kind of see her. She kind of goes over and she's like, aisle 7. She's like pointing down. And I kid you not, like, she'll direct me right there and then she'll direct me to where exactly it is in that aisle. So yeah, go ahead and call on Joy Guide to help you find things. So that is funny. Yeah, Jacqueline, go ahead and call on your Joy Guide. Help me find my paper. Joy Guide. I love Joy Guide. So then moving into the masters, okay? So masters. Good morning, Angelica. Wonderful to have you. Yay. So then moving into our masters, okay? So masters have a little bit more of a higher entity, and they have downloaded information in order to walk the earth, but be enlightened, and be enlightened at a very, very, very high frequency, okay? So masters that could be on our spirit team are Jesus. Jesus is a master. He's on my spirit team. Absolutely love him. Oh my gosh. Well, of course. How could you not love Jesus, right? And so with that, one time I was interacting with him and I kept calling him Master Jesus, Master Jesus. And he's so humble that he was like, I'm actually a teacher. And I'm like, oh, okay. But he's still kind of in the master realm, okay? Because he had that enlightened state. Also, other masters would be Buddha, okay? So in that higher enlightened state. Gandhi, higher enlightened state. And then also Mother Teresa, higher enlightened state. So then, Mother Teresa then becomes known as a saint. Okay, so those masters are the saints. And so masters. So I have a younger version of Buddha on my spirit team who is a master, and he's always right here. So I had a spirit portrait made. So he's the only spirit portrait made that I've had. It was a gal over in the UK. And she brought forward young Buddha. And my breath was like taken away when I saw him. I'm like, yeah, that's totally him. So it's young Buddha. It's a younger version of Buddha. And what young Buddha, this particular master for me does, is changes my thought pattern. So anytime I have anything back here, I know it's young Buddha and I know he's trying to change my thoughts. Okay. Which is good. Which is really good. Right? Gets me into that more level thinking. So I love that. So then another category then, so we got those masters, then our teachers, okay? So teachers who may be on our spirit team are those who have passed that were pretty high charismatically on the earth. And so, yay, Jacqueline, she's like, I've always loved Buddha, right? Love Buddha. So with looking at the teachers, okay, so the teachers who have crossed over, these would be people such as Louise Hay, Wayne Dyer, Maya Angelou. So these are teachers, okay? These are teachers on the other side. And so I feel like we all humans need categorization. Am I saying that right? We need to categorize things. Am I saying that right? Put things into groups. Let's just say that. And so, even like the vibrations. So we know that angels are the super, super, super high vibration. So a lot of times when I'm channeling angels, it's a super high, quick pace that I'm talking, okay? And I think that's what happened when I channeled that particular meditation is I went way up with them and had, it wasn't like a hard time grounding. It just took a long time, okay? So yeah, so they're very, very high. And then if we were to look at it, our, guides and masters and teachers have all walked these planes. Okay. So really, like, vibrationally, I would say the guides and the masters are pretty close. I'm almost, I'm feeling that they probably have similar frequencies. Some might be higher than others. Okay. And so the guides, a lot of times also, we may have been in a past life with them. So one of my guides is my king guide, and his name is Gian. And Gian and I have been in several lifetimes together, and I've done a lot of work with him to the point that we were in a lifetime. Get this one. We were in a lifetime, we had 9 children. We had 9 children. I was a queen, he was a king. We had 9 children. And I actually met one of the youngest children. His name is Manuel, in this lifetime. So, right? Trippy, right? And so it's neat to get to know our guides, So I do a lot of that through automatic writing, journaling, just chatting with them. And so that's pretty amazing. So our guides we can be in past lives with, okay? So I just want to make sure I'm hitting everything. And then the teachers, they're closer to the earth than some of the others, let's say. So the teachers are closer to the earth than some of the other ones. So if you were to look at it vibrationally, whoa, awesome, Angelica. When I said we were in several lifetimes together, the lights flickered. Boom, right? I love my king. Oh yeah, he's so incredible. And so, oh gosh, he gives me so much information. It's amazing. He's very, very close. So he comes in on this side for me, a lot of times in doorways. And so also when I spoke with the kids, perfect. Hi, Holly. Wonderful to see you. Mwah. Yeah, so perfect. Thank you, Angelica. I appreciate that validation. Yay for lights flickering. So with, let's see, King Guide. I know I get flustered with him. He's so close, So I'm like, I know he's close. So the teachers, again, they're closer to the earth. So again, Maya Angelou, Louise Hay, Wayne Dyer, they're closer to the earth. Okay. That's kind of their vibration. We also have spirit animals, and thank you for the hearts. And our spirit animals kind of ebb and flow. So in each meditation that I channeled, you'll meet a spirit animal. It might be a different spirit animal each time, maybe. It could be the same. And so spirit animals are those that we really resonate with. So it could be a butterfly, dragonfly, bear, owl, coyote, crows, the list goes on. So with that, if you really resonate with an animal, that could definitely be your spirit animal. Okay. So that can definitely be your spirit animal. And so with that gives you various information. Like you can always tell, I pull in masters too. You can tell because I slow down a little bit. They give us various information about it's almost like those signs that you see. So definitely look up the animals, because when you're looking at the animals, you can see what these signs mean for your life. Okay. So spirit animals, those are another part of our spirit team, your spirit guides. So one guide that is really important for us is almost, he or she doesn't get a lot of grandeur, right? But this is our doctor guide. Okay. So our doctor guide, and I love this. So Holly has met her doctor guide. So with our doctor guide assists us with medical conditions, with helping us to see if things are on an emotional level, a mental level, a physical level, or a spiritual level. Okay. And so whenever there's imbalance in the body, it's going to be on those 4 levels. And Doctor Guide is able to assist us with medical diagnoses. I want to caution us not to diagnose, but to almost like looking at the symptomology and recognizing how to remedy it. Let's say that instead. So Doctor Guide, my Doctor Guide is a fella who is British, right? And my Doctor Guide, his name is Dr. Randolph, and he has told me that I spell his name wrong. I put PH at the end, Randolph, and he crosses it out when I do my automatic writing and he puts an F. And I'm like, okay, we're good. Hi, Rebecca. Good to see you. Mwah, light and love. And so Dr. Guide has helped me to help others with their symptomology. And also myself. Okay. So for example, I had a physical injury and I had broken some ribs in a mountain biking accident, and it flared up like 5 years later, super random. But what it was a bunch of emotional stuff that needed to be rid of. Okay. So I got cortisone shots. Gosh, you name it. I had a bone spur. They had to chisel off the bone spur on the rib because it was rubbing on my lung. It was one thing after another. And then I discovered Reiki, and then I actually healed myself of the rib pain because it was more of an emotional trigger. Okay. Yep. Absolutely, Jacqueline. Dr. Guides can share about chronic shoulder pain. Absolutely, girl. Yep. So that is really good to be able to tap into your Dr. Guide and to be asking of that. So, it could be ergonomic. So again, it could be any of those 4 levels. It could be all of the levels. So if I said ergonomic, it might be physical. It could be emotional. It could be spiritual. It could be any of those levels. So they're giving me an example right now. So I did a reading on Monday. And this gal had back pain because I could feel it. I was like, oh, wow, you have quite a bit of back pain. And she goes, I do. And I said, and digestive stuff. So that information I was pulling in from Dr. Guide. And she's like, yeah. And sometimes people look at me like, how do you know that? Right. And so really what it was, okay. And she said, I went to the doctor and he said nothing was wrong. I go, It wasn't physical. It was stress. Okay. So her back pain, her digestive stuff was all stress and emotional stuff. Her brain was not turning off at night. She wasn't getting enough sleep. And so she had it exacerbated into back pain and digestion. Okay. Then also she was like, I keep getting this, like, it's a really intense pain, not pain, but like an ache right there. Right. Okay. Right here between her eyebrows. And so I called Dr. Guide in, and she was worried. She was really concerned that it could be something wrong with her brain. Like she was just like, I don't know. I don't know what this could be. Dr. Guide comes in, and so Rebecca, I don't know if you mean the shoulder pain or this, either way. And again, this is different for everybody. Okay, so this gal's particular reason for her symptomology could be different for everybody. Okay. Well, it turns out it was her phone. So her eyes and this musculature was getting strained from her phone. And so I said, don't feel anything physical, and so then we were able to look that it was her phone, and it was just a light bulb went on. She was like, yeah, it is my phone, and then she's been able to remedy that by not being on her phone as much. The digestive issues and head pain. Okay, gotcha. So yes, so Rebecca, then, being able to tap in with your Dr. Guide and being able to see that, kind of the layers of that. So I can see the digestion as either emotional stress. There's something there with that. And then the head pain, could also be related to the stress and whatnot. So yeah. And I feel like I'm getting deja vu, like we've talked about this before. So I'm wondering if it came through in a reading or something like that with you. But I'm getting a little bit of deja vu with that. So if we did talk about that, go ahead and tap back in with that information, and or start calling in your Dr. Guide. Okay. So Jacqueline, isn't that funny? Some of the stuff I'm like, oh my gosh. Yeah. So okay, perfect. So any questions, go ahead and drop them in the comments. So again, there's 11 different types of spirit guides. I like to break them down into guides, angels, masters, and teachers. And our life guides are our main guide and our guardian angel. Okay, there you go, Peggy. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. And bring, go ahead and bring that Dr. Guide close to you. Good. Okay. So those are our life guides, the guardian angel and the main guide. Okay. Joy guide is also throughout our life. The masters are going to be Jesus, Buddha, Gandhi, Mother Teresa. Angels, of course, our guardian angel and any archangels. I also have another angel on this shoulder named Angel Harmony. And I used to write stories about harmony when I was a child. So sometimes I've noticed that is that some of the names that I like called my dolls when I was a child or wrote stories about, they're actually my guides. So I was part of them when I was a child. And they were coming to me in stories. They were coming to me in poems, naming my baby dolls. So kind of fun. So then the teachers are going to be those who have passed, who raised, yay, Angelica, I know, I'm so excited about having the meditations out there, raised their vibration to the point that they raise the vibration of the planet. Okay, so this is Maya Angelou, Wayne Dyer, Louise Hay. Okay, so that's the teachers. Also, your spirit animals are those animals you resonate with. So make sure I have everybody. Doctor guide as well is one that isn't typically talked about. Okay, he's not one that's right in your face like main guide, guardian angel, joy guide. Yet very, very important. Okay, I keep calling him a he because he's a he on my team, but he could be a she on your team. So life guide, multitask, and guide other people at the same time they're guiding us. Okay, very good. Yes, very good. Very, very good, Ellie. So our life guide does multitask and does guide other people at the same time. So they're not exclusive to us. So an example, of a reading, I'll give you two examples. They're showing me two veins. A reading that I did, and my main guide went tandem with the other gal's main guide, and they were working on her, okay? So it was Everly and Matthew. They were working on her. The other vein they want me to go on is our guides can see ahead. They can see in the future much more than we can, okay? So for example, there's this one gal that came to me because she really needed to sell her house, and spirit, so my main guide was working with her main guide, right? And my main guide was giving me insights that in her future, it was going to be like in 3 weeks or so. The reason for the glitch was this couple was trying to get some financial stuff. They're going to buy the house, but they couldn't quite get the financial stuff in alignment. And so with that, the guide, my guide, was able to help to give me the information to help them remedy it, to clear them during the reading. So clear whatever financial stuff they had. I don't even know these people, right? In order to assist this gal with selling her house. And so it is for the greater good of everyone, right? So that particular case, my guides were working diligently with this gal's guides and also looking to the future, and also this couple's guides, right? To be able to have everything to be orchestrated. So yes, they absolutely multitask. And yes, they see things we don't. So they're ahead of our path, they're ahead of others' paths. And maybe, for example, too, yeah, Holly, clearing is so good. With that, so multitasking, that was really good, Ellie. I had one more vein with that. And so, there it is. So let's say that you're supposed to meet somebody, right? And they already see this person, right? They're like, oh, in November, she's going to meet this really cool person. Yay, Holly. Yeah, Holly's experienced the meditations. Yes. Oh my gosh. Oh, my heart. And so with that, this particular person in November, they may hit a glitch of some sort. And all of a sudden, it turns out you're not going to meet them till December, right? And yet you're needing to meet them in November. So your guides can go forward and help this other person because it's for the betterment of both. So I hope that makes sense. What? I said the Tori Amos, right? Are you going to her concert? Is that what that is? Do tell. So Ellie, I hope that makes sense to you. They do multitask and they're orchestrating. So they are, like I said, it's almost like they see us, they see this person we're supposed to meet, very, very necessary, and they align us to make it all happen. Yes, I love it, Rebecca. Yes, absolutely, Jacqueline. Imaginary friends can be main guides and guardian angels. Absolutely. So, and we make meaning, right? And so the children with the imaginary friends, those are their guides. So my son has a little imaginary friend, and his name is Tommy, and Tommy is Irish, and my son has even done like the Irish accent. It's kind of cute. My son is 9, and this happened when he was 7, and he's like, now Tommy's doing backflips. So I knew Tommy's part of his spirit team. Yeah, absolutely, Holly. Yep. Use your guides. Yes, absolutely, because they orchestrate to the future. And they hear, like, they know your desires. So absolutely use your main guide and joy guide. So joy guide is very good for manifesting. So we are looking at a new house and in the future. And so my husband and my son and I, we were all sitting in the hot tub in the backyard. It was really fun. It was late at night, and I think it was Saturday night. And my husband said to my son, what do you want in your new house? So my son's like, I want Randy's tumbling gym. I want like all these things that are in our town, like a tumbling gym, an arcade, like all this stuff, and all my friends, you know. And it was really cute listening to him. And then all of a sudden he giggled really, really high pitched. And I was like, boom, he just used his joy guide. So you can use joy guide as well, because they get us to that higher elevation. So main guide and joy guide, use them. Okay. I have another live. in another group in 10 minutes. It's in Penny Norkett's Claiming Your Brilliance group. And so I'm going to jet off and do that. I thank you so much for being here with me. And yes, check out the meditations. They're amazing. And it's funny because every time I listen to them, I see more features of each one of my guides. And so my main guide, at first I thought he wears green a lot, so his eyes have looked green to me. I've done these meditations a couple times, and he's changed a little bit, and he's gotten more apparent, more obvious, okay, more features. Yes, absolutely. Rebecca, you mean to the other live? Absolutely. I'll figure out how to do that. I will figure out how to do that. So definitely check out the meditations to meet your main guide, your guardian angel, your joy guide, your doctor guide, pivotal people in your life. And guides, they were people at one time, except for guardian angel. And they can just really catapult you forward on your path. So yeah, absolutely, Rebecca. So much light and love and so many blessings to you all. And yeah, check out the meditations. It's awesome. Oh my gosh. Every time I listen, I'm like, oh, I get the chills. So have a fabulous day, and you guys all take care. Much love and so many blessings to you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Take care, you guys. Oh, and see you this evening at 7.